Hello, I'm Mrs. Barrett, and I'm going to be practicing The Little Boy from Bachín with you. It's by Astor Piazzolla from grade 3, ABRSM Violin. So this piece has a couple new techniques, mostly some bow articulation stuff, but it also has some shifting. So shifting is one thing that it's good to start the shifts you need to do in advance, even before you learn that section of the piece. That way you have a few days to get it under your fingers before you try to put it into the music itself. So one of the shifts is going from first position up to third position. So I'm going to work on that one with you now. This piece is in G major. So we are normally going to have F sharp here on my violin. There we go. Now you should be able to see clearly. So this first shift is going to be going from this B up to this F. But you're going to stay on the string, A string for that F. So you're going to go up to third position. And that's quite a big shift. We're shifting from one finger to another finger, and it's a higher finger in the new position. So that's one of the trickiest things. So we're actually going to play this B and practice getting up to the D, getting up to third position. So the best way to do that is to just play up to that finger in first position. So go ahead and play those notes with me. Now that that D is in your ear, you're going to hear these two notes. First time with just 1 to 3. Do it with me. Now, after playing the B, relax the thumb and slide your 1 to that note. Take the hand down, relax a little bit. Let's play it again in first position, B to D. And now the shift. So you first want to get really comfortable with that shift. It's good to relax your left shoulder right before you have to shift up. So you're kind of dropping down. You might see it from this side. And you also want to be sure that your scroll is not hanging downwards. If you're hanging towards the floor with the scroll, then you're working against gravity to bring that hand up, and you might end up flat. So you want to keep your violin flat or even a little bit higher than normal so that you can bring your hand in close to yourself. So that's the shift to third position, but we're actually going to play an F in third position. So we're going up to the first finger and then playing this note. So the way we practice that kind of a shift is like this. So we're feeling the placement of the D in order to get the 2 and the 3 ready. Just try it a few times with me. You can even go backwards. So 1, 1, 3. And if you decide to do the backwards one, 3, 3, 1. Let's do it 3 times. Now you can pause the video if you need to, just to review that a little more, or you can just turn the video off completely and play around with it a little bit. But it's good to try playing along with me so you can keep in time as you do it. So don't be afraid to just rewind the video a few times to practice that bit. So that's an introduction to the shift. Now this piece is in 3, and it uses this kind of a rhythm a lot. So that's a pickup. So you're going to actually start down bow on the upbeat, which we don't usually do, but it's a quaver slur going down to the G. So that's the beginning. And we have 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2. So that's kind of your entry. That little figure happens a lot of times. Always starting with a down bow. It can be tricky to get down to that third finger in tune, so you can just try it a few times. And once again, and one more. Now, the next section just goes down the scale. And that's what you have. That one actually comes from an up. So they go together, those first little bits. So try with me. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And that's the nice thing. It does the same pattern with just a held E at the second time. So we're going to play that part 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's a little bit easier, you can get ready for the next section, which has the same rhythm, but it's changing something. It's going to the 4th finger. Now, after playing the E, you might think, oh, can't I just go over here? But the reason for that fingering of the 4 is so we don't have to skip the A string. It's hard to make a double string crossing. And also because this is a soft part, and we've been playing on D, so if we go to the E string, that note is really going to poke out. So the next thing we're going to practice is just getting from that 1 to the 4, and we're going to stop after that. So after we do the 1, we're relaxing the hand, making sure the thumb is soft, and we're reaching the same note an octave higher on the A string. So I'll turn this way so you can see both. And it might be a little bit hard to see, but I'm keeping the fingers on both strings, just to feel that space a little more. So that's my connection bar. So let's go from the first bar a little bit slower, and we're going to reach that 4th finger when we get there. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 4 gets ready. So during that long E, you're actually going to already prepare the thumb and the 4th finger for action. The other thing to think about in that part is keeping those double crotchets sounding like more, less. That's going to give it a waltz feel. 4 is ready. And then you're going to come down to a low 2. So you might just practice playing 4, 3, 2. Listen to that tuning. Try to make it as sweet as possible. 4, 3, 2. And if you hang on to that 1 for a while, it gives you a mark to know where the 2 is going to go, because this is a low 2 when we've been playing high 2s before this. Going to come all the way down that scale. So play that a few times. One, 2, 3, 4. And that's where you're going to add it. So that one starts in an up. Is going to help you move on to the next part of the piece, because they're going to come back a lot. And practicing the shift just gets you ready for playing the second half of the piece. So just remember, you don't have to get through the whole piece in the first day of learning it. You just have to set yourself up to really move forward and learn each part really carefully. Because the more carefully and correctly you learn it the first time, the less things you have to go back to fix later on. So you probably have a good week in between your lessons, and that's a good time to go through each step of these videos. So good luck, and see you tomorrow.